What the F.A.Q with Ike and Dylan.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to What the F.A.Q 22.
Yep,
Year 22, Season 4, Episode 1, 2022. I'm here as always with
Dylan.
We got a new little background. We got a new intro thumbnail.
Yeah, some new intro music.
New intro music. We'll see how long if we use it every time or what. We have a customer of ours that keeps us sending us like some cool stuff, so we're trying to work some of that stuff in.
Yes. I never thought, because once you guys hear it, never thought I'd do anything that made somebody else make something like that. That was the greatest part of that to me. It's like now, like that's a different kind of muse.
So that's kind of it's kind of the fact that somebody took the time to actually make something.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's just kind of fun. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't know. We're not worthy.
Yeah.
So weekly question and answer show for anybody that's new here. We did pick up some new subscribers this week. Dylan did a live stream with Ben, and so a few of those people kind of came over. So it's slowly creeping, which is cool. As always, we appreciate all you guys that are sticking with us all this time too. So
well, and thanks again for having me, Ben. That was fun. It's always good to catch up with Ben. So
yeah,
because it's been a while, at least 6 months, I think, since I've done anything with him. So yeah,
always good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
even though I wasn't able to watch it when it was happening.
Yeah, I know.
I watched it the next day.
Yeah, it looked like it was a pretty good turnout. Like I said, the chat didn't really end up working for me, so I more or less let Ben kind of do it more like interview style. But
cool.
It was still fun. I think the usual, Terry and the usual gang kind of showed up.
Yeah,
so.
I saw like Charles 75 and
Tom and
there was a lot of the usuals, and then I saw Quentin James's ass for.
Yes, you saw that. So I'm glad
I wasn't.
Yeah,
and I was like, but I saw it the next day, and it was ass, and I'm like. Did he show his dick in there? Was there?
Oh, I don't know if that.
Because I don't know. I'm like, what am I?
It happened so fast, and I was so shocked because at first when it happened,
it looked like it was blurred in the blurry bits. There was a blurry action going on. I'm like,
well, it'd be kind of nice if it's self. Yeah.
What happened? Yeah, if it's self blurred. I was like, why is
the internet? The whole internet just collectively is like, no, we don't need that.
No.
Yeah.
No. I was like, why am I looking at Quentin's ass?
Well, it was so funny because, I guess Jason, that he's been coming in on Mondays for lessons.
Yeah.
So he was watching it, and I guess his wife had happened to come in right at that moment. And so he was telling me it was one of the funniest things they've had happen in a while. But yeah, I was like, at first I was like, in Quentin James form, of course, would be the way. But just the way, I thought he did it on purpose because it was so his ass was pretty much perfectly framed. Yeah. And then he's just sitting there, pulling up his drawers and then turns around.
Yeah, well that's what I thought too. He just
I thought he was messing around.
Yeah, he's doing a shtick.
And then at the end of it he's like, oh yeah, I had no intention of showing everybody the whole pack.
Yeah, so well, you did. You guys want to go to check out Ben Coombs' live stream from the other night with Dylan.
Yeah.
If that's
get some old man ass on your screen.
So if that's something you want to see. But anyway, let's jump into the questions.
Yes.
So you go first.
All right. Well, we'll just start with Nothing Here. He's been pretty consistent with some good ones.
All right.
So Nothing Here asks, do you have a rule of thumb about how to compare guitar amp wattage to bass amp wattage? What are the minimums you're looking for a guitar to compete with drums in a band setting? So I think it's being almost like a ratio of guitar wattage to bass wattage in terms of both sticking with it. I think it changes with tube amps just because, a 100-watt tube guitar amp and a 100-watt tube bass amp are vastly different. So I would say in that regard, you almost need not a 1 to 3, but it almost ends up, I feel like, it almost works out to where for 100 watts of guitar amp, you have usually about 300 watts of bass amp.
Or, if you're going to do, let's say 15 watts I think if you're going to do 15 watts of guitar amp, you're probably going to have to do minimum of 100 watts of bass amp.
Yes, yeah.
Solid state, we're talking.
Yes. Well, and just so everybody knows, too, basically.
I hope that's what we're talking about.
Well, I think both tube and solid state. I think it's just all the way around. Yeah, well, that is a good point, actually. Because if we're doing tube amp to tube amp, it would be more of a 1 to 3 kind of ratio, whereas you're right, if it was solid state to solid state or even tube to solid state,
Right.
you would almost need a much bigger.
And I think your tube
ratio.
to solid state is going to be more of is going to be
More common.
More common.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
in
I'm
that
saying
regard,
I think a
yes.
15 watt guitar amp,
Yeah, you probably need at least 100 or
at
more.
least a
Yeah.
100 or 200 watt
Bass amp,
bass
yeah.
amp. That's what I would say. And because a 15 watt guitar
Well,
amp,
yeah.
you could gig with that with a drummer as long as the drummer's not.
Well, and especially
You know.
these days with everything being mic'd up and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That 15 watts on the guitar tube side to about 100, that would probably end up working.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's tube to tube, I think that gap is smaller. And then in terms of ratio to playing with the guitar and a drum, that's, the drummer's always going to dictate the volume of the band, period. Right. So, I mean, if you're playing in a punk band or a metal band, usually 50 watts minimum is kind of the thing these days for most people.
Well, because it's usually loud and fast.
Yeah, loud, fast, and especially if your drummer, if your drummer's a heavy hitter on top of a genre that's already known for being
being loud.
Yeah, then you usually need that extra wattage just to stay with them.
Yeah, because if you're playing in a blues band or something like that, or even a blues rock band,
right,
and the drummer's not a super heavy hitter, you can get away with a 15 watt. You can get away with a blues junior
right
every day of the week.
Well, and I also got to say, I know it probably sounds weird, but I feel like most punk bands and metal bands usually have less means available for practicing. And it's usually just because of, I don't know if it is an age thing, but usually like a lot of metal bands, when they're first getting going, punk bands, they don't have a PA. So usually like your
It's
amp is your
volume.
amp. It's just stage volume. So whereas like in a lot of, in blues bands or even jazz bands, usually keeping the volume quiet is more of a thing so that everybody can kind of get away without earplugs and get away with smaller rigs. And so I think it's, genre dependent. And then if your drummer's a beast, it's that's the other factor.
Yeah, you have to take that into account.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a real ratio, but yeah, I would say for a really loud drummer, you usually need about 50 watts to kind of keep up.
Yeah, and like you said, genre driven.
Yes, very much so.
So, hope that helps.
Yeah.
All right, Tim White asks, I'm curious about the Walrus ACS1 with the latest firmware versus the Strymon Iridium versus 2 Notes Cab M Plus. I actually feel like the 2 Notes would be the best for me to build a non-iPad PC rig from because there's so many IRs available with the 2 Notes. It's trying to sound like a particular amp. Curious if you've done any shootouts between all three. So I'm going to probably dip out on this one because you're the one that has more experience with this because you've been doing a little bit extra with the demos and that kind of stuff. So he's
that, and I
a little
actually
bit
have
heavier
been
into that.
Yeah, I've been trying to narrow some of this down just because we've been having a lot of this kind of come up in terms of customers. Because a lot more people, especially with the way everything's been, a lot more people are kind of retreating back into their homes and home studios again.
Yeah, recording direct.
Right. So yeah, I mean, Walrus. Let's start with the Walrus ACS1 versus the Iridium. If you're going for a live situation, I could see like the where the Walrus one beats out the Iridium is being able to do basically two amp signals. So you'd be able to do a stereo rig and only have one pedal, which is pretty nice, and you get two different amp sounds that you can do with that rather than just the one. But if you're recording and exclusively recording, I would say the Strymon Iridium has more fidelity. So that would be where, like, if it's a recording situation, I'd go Strymon. Live situation, I'd probably go with the ACS one. The 2 Notes Cab M, I haven't played as much as I have like the Captor stuff. The Cab M doesn't have a preamp, does it?
I don't believe so.
I thought it was just for like
just
running a preamp
sims.
into the yeah. So it's just swappable cabs. Like I said, hopefully I'm not messing up on that one, but. That one would definitely be the most versatile if you're wanting to get more speaker changes or speaker tone changes. Although the Iridium, I mean, you can still load up any cab IRs you would want. So it would be more of like the Cab M would be used if you wanted to run it more with something you already have. Like if you just want to use amps you already own, I would probably go with that guy. Whereas if you're just doing like kind of an all-in-one, amp in a box with a cab sim, I would say the Strymon for recording, Walrus for live performance.
In general, yes.
Yeah. And I would say, I mean, all the way around
Cab M
those...
would probably be great if you're... Well, okay, so like we've talked about with the Iridium, doesn't always play well with fuzzes.
Yes, yeah.
So if you're having
if you're a fuzz,
if you're having an issue with you want to have a particular sound but you can't get it with a particular pedal like the Iridium, maybe that's where the Cab M might
because like
might help out because it's going to you're bypassing some of that.
And I don't know. I don't think Tim's super heavy on the fuzz side, but even
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think he is. But if you were in a situation where you were a fuzz guy, the main problem with the Iridium and the Walrus ACS one is just that you end up having an issue because the preamps on those are JFET driven. It's almost like a fuzz hitting an overdrive more than it is a fuzz hitting an amp. Because it's like it just doesn't behave quite the same way like a tube amp does. And I think it's just got to be something to do with, fuzzes at their core kind of, it's not that they're harsh, but a lot of those frequencies can be kind of harsh.
Mm-hmm.
And so tube amps, I think, have a good way of just like taking that in, accepting it, and rounding it out.
Right.
Whereas like
some of these don't necessarily.
Yeah, they kind of just give you the full just of the fuzz, which can be a little harsh on the edges. So it just depends though too, because I would say mode to mode, even on the Iridium, like oddly enough, I do actually think that the Marshall mode and the Vox mode, for some reason, do take fuzzes and boosts and stuff better than because the Fender mode, for whatever reason, like it doesn't have enough headroom, I think, in terms of staying clean. So like if you hit it with anything, it just goes into that tweed.
Like, no!
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I'm dying, man!
Yeah. Stop! Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, hopefully that helps, Tim.
Cool. All right. So now here we come back around to Ben Coombs.
Yeah.
Our preferred Canadian YouTuber. Go check him out. Question for next season. That's this season. Is there still an untapped market for pedal builders? Maybe a certain effect that not a lot of companies make.
I kind of have one. It's not, I don't know how desired it is, but it comes up quite often. Nobody does like a consistent stutter effect that, like even if it was tacked on to like a trem or something else, like a controllable stutter effect, almost like doing
like a tap tempo stutter.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
We could do that. Should we do that?
Yeah, that actually
would
be
the
cool.
Fretastair.
The Fretastair. Yeah. That actually just lets us to tap it. Yeah. That actually wouldn't be bad, but yeah, that's one that comes up a lot because like we have a few players that like to do kind of those like just those momentary stutter effects, and it needs to be consistent. It doesn't need to be like with an expression pedal trying to ramp up on a trem. You have all that in between, like the ramp up and the ramp back. Whereas some people just need like a momentary kind of
We should talk to Chuck about that.
Yeah, so that would be
Maybe
one.
we can make one of those and figure it out.
That would be one, and honestly, if you'd asked me last year, I would have said envelope filters are not as much, but there's so many more that are kind of coming out now this last year that I don't really think that's the case anymore.
And so I think that the key on this question is like untapped. And
just an untapped
slot.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's a lot of ground that hasn't been, searched already.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have so many people that are going back looking at all these older circuits, older things from
older
bygone eras and such and they're pulling circuits from that or pulling certain sounds from all that. So I don't think there's a lot of extra that's out there to be found still.
Yeah,
and I think it just becomes more. They're still gonna be having quality stuff. It's just they're gonna have to get creative within their own stuff. You can't keep pulling shit from the old stuff.
Well, yeah, no, that's
just like
something,
movies.
Well,
you can't keep pulling old movies and remaking them. Because eventually that runs out too.
Well, that is a good point because like most of the modern effects these days that are coming out tend to be mashups of like multiple effects.
Right.
So like, a lot of the delays that have come out in the last like 2 years have been pitch shifting delays. So you have like the Hedra from Maris or the micro tap and the micro pitch from Eventide, where you have all these like pitch shifting delays. But yeah, no, I think it's been a really long time. I don't even know the last time somebody said they had a brand new, like never before heard effect. Right. Like just a brand new effect that nobody's even done before.
Yeah,
it's been a while. If since anybody's done
everything's a derivative of something.
Yeah, it always traces back to it's either a fuzz or a delay or whatever it is. It has its lineage, but
maybe the last one is what's that one with it's like, oh, we got lightning in a fucking pedal.
The plasma.
Yeah,
but still, that still is just a
fuzz,
fuzz, like a gated fuzz. Yeah, but no, you're right. It's one of those like the last time there was a new effect. I don't know. It would be pretty cool if somebody finally did hit something. I like something that literally nobody's ever heard before. But at this point, it's hard to even. I guess you can't really think about something you've never heard before, but you know what I mean.
Right. Well, it's tough you got to. I don't know. So I guess my answer to this is I don't know where they're going to find. Right. I think it's already been explored. Yeah. But look at how many pedal channels there are. And so many people that talk about pedals, and even Josh Scott, with every week it's a new thing, and some old pedal that he found, and hey, look at this one. It was built by a tree gnome in fucking Nova Scotia, only for 2 months because that's the only time he could not freeze his fingers.
Climb to the highest peak and harvest. Naturally.
They only made one of these chips. Yeah. It's like the Wu-Tang Clan fucking album.
Some free range grass-fed germanium diodes.
So. Yeah.
No, but that is like the issue. Well, honestly, I wish, at least from what we do, I wish we did have like a company that would listen to suggestions. Like, I wish I could tell a company like, hey, really love this phaser, but add an expression jack to it. Or, hey, we really love this.
We probably could.
Yeah, because it's one of those things like.
Maybe that's what we got to do is. Talk to a company, we do an exclusive and go, hey, can we do this, but add that? And how many do we have to order?
Yeah, in order to make it. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Because there's times where that would really.
Just make it ourselves.
That's true, too. Because there's certain pedals that I love, but they just need tweaks. Like, they just need some, after years and years of the same thing, they just need, like, a little update here and there. That's a good question.
Yeah. All right, so moving on from that, we have... Boomer Bass Meme says, "Are you going to get any more bass sixes in stock?" Yes,
and I think he asked us a little while ago. We are still waiting on that same order. So
I think we got a black one's coming in first, and then we do have the
burst.
Yeah, the 3-tone burst coming in after that. So I know I got both. I got black and 3-tone burst on order.
Yeah,
and they never last.
Well, and just so everybody's aware, most Fender as a whole, Squire included, has been at like 12 months, lucky if it's under that, but most of the turnaround on their orders have been like 12 months. So even though, like I said, I'm pretty sure I know he asked this a little while ago, but
we do have it coming in.
I was gonna say, I think you had the order then, so it's still it's still waiting.
If you want to secure one, pre-order one, just email us, man. We'll
because
that's the best way at this point. If you want one and you're dead set on getting one, just pre-order it. That way when it comes in, we'll set it all up, ship it right back out. Because people ask us all the time, hey, you getting one of these? Hey, you getting one of those? Unless there's money down on it or it's a pre-order, it's going to be whoever gets it when it comes in.
Pretend it's like the 1800s and everything takes like a year or so to move across the country.
Welcome to see us in Roebuck. Let's put it on the train.
The ye old guitar shop.
Well, prime example, we had a pedal came in last night from a builder that's running very behind. Literally, Dylan put it up at 5 o'clock. It was sold by 8.
Yeah.
So 3 hours it was on the website and it was gone.
Yeah, and that one was from like 2 orders ago. So that one, I think we're literally over 20 months on that pedal.
So, we're just... Yeah. Some of the stuff that's still waiting...
We never know when it's going to... Because that's the thing, too, is everybody's been asking, like, when are things going to show up or what's shipping looking like? And it's like... We're not committing to any kind of shipping quotes because like our companies are literally just saying, you get it when you get it and here you go.
Yeah, and some companies have done really well with catching up. And then some companies were actually very good right along.
Yeah, certain ones really
take very much time to readjust. Like Strymon.
Yeah, they saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah, Strymon never really...
They never had a weird lapse. Yeah.
Really for very long. And then, we could order from them and get them pretty quick. But even companies like JHS, I believe, is caught up a bit. Walrus is caught up a considerable amount.
Earthquaker too. Like we're getting stuff usually in like a month instead of 3 months. So.
Yeah, so a lot of those companies are actually getting because I think they're doing the same thing we are. We got to see and look to the future and go. Well, I don't know when this is coming in again. Right. It's like I ordered my guitars for 2022 for Christmas of 2022. What 3 months ago?
Yes. Yeah. So 14 months in advance. Yeah.
And I've been still putting orders in along the way because,
Well, and even our Charvels and Gretches, like some of the stuff that's been rolling in and stuff, that you ordered like 9 months ago. So.
Yeah. And we have people, hey, you guys going to get one of these? Yeah, it's not going to be till July. Okay. And it's like,
Well, no, guy like
it's not just us. Even the big guys aren't getting.
Well, like
Fender,
prime example, we had a customer
that quick. So
yeah, we had a customer that wanted to order one of the Mustang bases from Fender, and he was thinking it might be 2 to 3 months, and we're like, no, sorry, man, July is the earliest they could do it, and that would be if we ordered it right then. So
yeah, and what happens is I just usually go, screw it, I'll put it on an order. Because
because
I feel like sometimes that guy's going to come back around again and realize that nobody else has it. So, even the big companies that give you stale candy, they don't have it. So
sometimes it's
I'll order it because I
yeah.
know we'll probably sell it.
Right.
We will sell it.
Yeah.
But okay, and then the last question is from Gordo, and he asks us, why don't we carry EBOs?
It's a really good question.
I think the EBO company, is it a direct company?
Well,
I don't know.
No, I was going to ask because I was going to say we gotta look into them because actually they would be pretty fun to carry, and I don't know why we don't yet, other than we just haven't ever reached out to the producers of EBO.
I guess we could ask if you need one, Gordo.
Well, it's funny. We had a few customers I think ask, which was what prompted it, but then he had a good point of like that would be just a fun kind of weird thing to have in the shop.
Oh yeah,
because actually one of those with a fuzz would be pretty fun. I could have some fun with an EBO.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'll reach out to him.
Yeah.
If you guys want some EBOs, let us know.
Yes.
So, all right, I think that's it, right?
That is pretty much it. Yeah, I think a pretty light week or light episode for the first of the new season.
Yeah. So we'll throw some extra things in. Things are starting to move a little bit.
Yeah. Got another video
building
too.
A little bit, sort of. We're still kind of doing stuff, but we're getting somewhere. And obviously, new cool background. So this is part of a larger thing.
Right. A larger concept.
Yeah. This is part of a larger concept. You guys will see that moving forward. But
yes.
Okay, so yeah. I don't know. We may not have an FAQ next week, but I think we're gonna.
I gotta try to squeeze it in.
I have dental surgery.
Yeah. We're gonna try to get it in before that part. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be like.
We got that, and then we do. Speaking of Gordo, actually, we got his Swarm demo coming out later this week.
Friday.
Friday. So you guys can watch that, and then next week try to get the FAQ, and we'll try to get another demo in there as well. I haven't decided which one. I got like 2 that I was sort of working on, so we'll see which one I go with.
I might put one together too.
Yeah. We're trying to kind of, because I think Jake was thinking
dental
he might do
face.
another one. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Try to work on
some
of that. Yeah. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Slam dunk. Slammed it. Oh, shit. What?